Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Bucks County District Attorney Matt Weintraub, and we're hosting our, actually, we've done quite a number of these senior forums. This is virtual, and we will have an opportunity to get some interaction with some people that are participating virtually. First thing I'd like to do is introduce our panelists, and we've done this quite often. I'll be pinch hitting for the District Attorney's office. Usually Kate Kohler is here from my office, but I'll be pinch hitting. Hopefully you guys can grade me on a curve. But I'm very pleased to present with my partners. I have Mike Bannon, who is the Executive Director of Bucks County Consumer Protection, Kathy Bennett, who is the Executive Director of Area Agency on Aging. I have Liam Crowley. And Liam, I don't even know your title, but I'm sure you will introduce us to you, and who works for a network of victim assistants. Brendan Corballis from the Senior Law Center. Will you be presenting by yourself today, Brendan?
I have Dakota Levy with me, one of our legal advocates.
Excellent. So, yep, two is better than one for sure. And the way that I thought we would approach this is we can go around the horn, so to speak, and I'll ask you to talk about your agency, what your agency does, and some of the issues that you've been seeing recently that may pertain to seniors, and some good tips that you could provide to our seniors to keep them safe and protect them from any kind of fraud, scams, or dangers that you see. So, Mike, why don't we lead off with you? Could you please tell us a little bit about your agency and some tips and some of the scams that you're seeing lately?
Hi, great. First, it's good to be back. Thank you to everybody out there in streaming land. It's nice to be here. My name is Mike Bannon. I am the director of the Bucks County Office of Consumer Protection. We are a unique department that deals with consumer-related problems in Bucks County. We have a weights and measures department that inspects gas pumps and scales in supermarkets and other things like that. But here I'm here today to talk about senior scams and problems that are affecting senior citizens. We see so many of them, Matt, on such a regular basis, whether it's the robo-scam calls or text messages that folks get nowadays. Technology has changed the world. Some of it is very good. Some of it comes with a downside. So what we want to do is get out ahead of any cyber problems and get information to seniors how they can go on the internet safely and not fall for some of these dastardly scams that are out there. We also take complaints against legitimate businesses in and outside Bucks County to help residents resolve problems when it comes to consumer protection, whether it's looking at a contract or getting a warranty for a product that you're having a problem with. We can help with that too. So it's great to be here today. I'm glad we're able to do this event, and I look forward to the rest of the presentation.
All right, thank you, Mike. Kathy, would you like to introduce yourself at this point and your agency, please?
I think I'm on. Good.
I think you are.
I'm getting the high sign. I'm Kathy Bennett. I am the director of the Bucks County Area Agency on Aging. We have been in existence since 1974, providing various services to individuals that are seniors, primarily to help them stay in their homes and also to stay safe. We have a protective services unit that investigates potential elder abuse. Again, we're not law enforcement, but we do go into people's homes and meet with them to make sure that they are safe and that they're not in any kind of danger. We also have, in addition to a lot of different services in the home that we can provide, such as personal care and meals and home health aides and those kinds of helps in the home. We also have some special programs I'll just highlight very quickly. One is our Caregiver Support Program. Our Caregiver Support Program helps caregivers who are taking care of someone who is a senior. There's a reimbursement program that we can assist with costs for caregiver. We also are assisting through our Caregiver Support Program grandparents who are caring for their grandchildren. And so that's a specific program that we can provide assistance with. If you know someone who happens to be in one of the nursing home or personal care homes, we have what's called the Ombudsman Program that provides advocacy for seniors that are in those facilities to help them with whatever issues or concerns that they might have with regards to the care they're receiving, but also any kind of thing that is just something that they're having a difficulty with, to help empower them and to get what kinds of supports and services they might need. And I don't know, are you going to talk about the Elder Abuse Task Force a little bit more?
I'd love for you to lead into that.
Okay. So we also have, excuse my water bottle, we also have our Crimes Against Older Adults Task Force that started almost 20 years ago now. The task force is made up of the representatives that you see here today, as well as some other individuals in healthcare, in other victim services, and who am I missing? The attorney,
Many different organizations.
yeah, there's just a banking, but our U.S. Attorney, that's what I was trying to think of. But our main purpose for our task force is to do a couple of things. One is that we meet regularly in order to talk about cases and to coordinate and collaborate to ensure that we're doing everything we can on cases where there are allegations of any kind of elder abuse. I'm sorry? A little bit closer, they can't hear you. Oh, thank you. Sorry about that, guys. So the Crimes Against Older Adults Task Force will work together to investigate crimes against elders. And so we collaborate on cases together and talk about issues that we're seeing in the community affecting seniors and their safety. The other thing we do is that we try to talk and communicate to the community, to seniors, about, just like we're doing today, issues and concerns around the scams, frauds, any type of abuse that might be impacting seniors. And so this is part of our mission to go out and discuss what kinds of concerns are facing seniors at this point. I think that's it for now.
That's a lot of information to unpack.
And we have brochures on all this stuff. So if you need assistance, our phone number is 267-880-5700. But we have all kinds of information that we can send you, or if you need help, we can provide that.
So let me stop us right here for a second. A couple of things that I remember were a little rusty. I know we've done these in the past. We got all through COVID. We did many of these, and we're looking forward to getting back live into your communities. And we are willing. I understand that we've done one of these at Tullytown, and we may be coming back to Tullytown pretty shortly to do another one of these forums. But one of the things that I think is important for us to make sure that our viewers and our listeners know is that the services that you all are speaking about that are available to our community members are free. I think there might be one or two very small exceptions, but Kathy, do I have that right?
Yes, yeah, there are some things that they're, like the Caregiver Support Program is a reimbursement sort of thing, but otherwise, no, all of our services for low-income individuals is free, yep.
And I know that's the same with Consumer Protection and the Senior Law Center and NOVA. I will say this, that if you're not sure and you want to contact either NOVA, Consumer Protection, Area Agency on Aging, Senior Law, you're never going to be charged for making that initial contact. And it is pretty rare that any of the services are charged. Kathy, you did a good job in giving us your phone number. Would you give us that phone number again, and then is there a website that people can reach you on?
Yes, so our phone number again is 267-880-5700. And then our website is on the county website, and it's under
buckscounty.gov.
Thank you, buckscounty.gov. So if you go there and in the search put in Area Agency on Aging, you'll get all kinds of information. But there's also on the website a separate page that is for the Crimes Against Older Adults Task Force. So if you type in Crimes Against Older Adults Task Force, you will also be directed to that page.
I'm going to give two of you a homework assignment right now. I see on your overhang there, Kathy, it says buckscounty.org. So I don't know if it's buckscounty.gov or buckscounty.org, but let's try to make sure we get that right by the end of our presentation.
Perfect. Thanks for noticing.
And while you were mentioning it, Kathy, you talked about the task force, and certainly we at the District Attorney's Office are members And we have the Neff Symposium coming up pretty shortly. Can you just touch on that?
Sure, certainly. That is scheduled for October 20th at the Bucks County Community College in Newtown, and it is a conference that's named after a gentleman who was killed in a nursing facility, and really was the impetus to help us to try and educate more about the rights and prevention of elder abuse against seniors. And so it's an all-day conference from 8:30 to 4. It's primarily geared towards professionals who work within the elder justice or providing services to seniors, nursing facilities, nursing homes, police departments, et cetera, but we also have had seniors that attend, and so they'd be more than welcome. There's no fee for that symposium, and if you contact our office, we will get the information out to you to register.
Excellent. Now, so before I go to Brendan, Mike, would you please let us know how we can contact the Bucks County Consumer Protection?
Yes, Matt, thank you for pointing that out. And yeah, we are a little rusty, but we're getting it together, so we're doing good. Residents out there that have any kind of issue, they can call the Bucks County Consumer Protection Department at 1-800-942-2009. That's 1-800-942-2009. That's the number to call. Or you can go to the buckscounty.gov website and put in a search for Consumer Protection, and it'll take you right to our page.
Excellent. All right, Brendan, giving you a little bit of a warm-up time here. So next, it's my pleasure to turn it over to Brendan Corballis and Dakota, who is also sitting with him from the Senior Law Center. Can you please let us know how you help seniors in our area?
Absolutely. First of all, good morning to everyone, and I'd like to thank Matt and his office, the Bucks County District Attorney's Office, for their leadership and their continued support of older adults here in the county. I'd also like to acknowledge how privileged we feel to be able to work with the task force and with our colleagues here from NOVA, the Bucks County Area Agency on Aging, and of course Mike Bannon from Consumer Weights and Protection. It's a very rare thing that you get so many people who are dedicated and willing to help older adults. Senior Law Center, a little bit about Senior Law Center. It is the largest nonprofit organization that provides direct legal services to adults who are over 60 in Pennsylvania. We've been operating in Philadelphia for about 40 years. I am an attorney. I'm also the assistant director of our Victim Services Program. The Victim Services Program is what's relevant here today in Bucks County. About 5 years ago, we expanded because of a grant that we received, and we opened offices in Bucks, Montgomery, Chester, Delaware counties. And our office here in Bucks County is here in Doylestown, and I work out of that office representing anyone here who may need legal assistance. We're a nonprofit, and all of our services are indeed free. What we specialize in is working with older victims of abuse, and we come at the situation from the civil law side. Sometimes there are criminal investigations or charges that are also happening at the same time, but we work in the civil side. So we offer representation, free representation to adults 60 and older here in the county who require a protection from abuse order. I can speak a little bit about that later, but also we provide civil assistance in terms of things like evictions, representing older landlords who may be suffering at the hands of abusive tenants or family members, something called ejectment and quiet title, and those are both actions which allow us to remove the abuser from the home of an older adult. We also provide counseling and assistance for community centers throughout the county, and we work with our partners here, as well as the district attorney's office, to provide education and conduct outreach. We also have situations where we can provide free assistance in the drafting of wills or powers of attorney in situations where, because of an abusive situation, a person wants to change their will or needs to. Financial exploitation is one of the largest areas of elder abuse in the United States, and this is where sometimes family members, sometimes anonymous scammers, as Mike mentioned, will target older adults to exploit them and use their money or steal their money. So that's all of sort of the things that we can do. With me to my right is Dakota Levy. She is an elder victim legal advocate, and she works here with me in Bucks County. I'm going to let her tell her a little bit about what her role is, and then also we'll provide our information about how to contact us.
Hi, everyone. Yes, thank you, Brendan. So I'm a legal advocate, and I work in Bucks County I work very closely with Brendan and with our clients to provide referrals and other information that they may find beneficial about different social services, as well as help them enroll in perhaps public, assistance programs, such as LIHEAP or other utility programs here. So I work again with Brendan, who provides the legal representation, and I do more of the social side and speaking quite extensively with our clients and seeing what else we can do for them. And we can be reached at, our phone number is 610-910-0210. That's our helpline number in Bucks County. Again, that's 610-910-0210. We also have a website where you can find additional information about Senior Law Center and the services we provide, and our website is seniorlawcenter.org.
That's very creative.
Thank you. Thank you, Dakota. What she also didn't mention is that part of her job is to provide any kind of support to the victims, and she is always in court with me when we're in court with victims of abuse, providing them with services and support and helping them navigate through the process.
And I'll mention something before I turn it over to Liam Crowley, and that is that you can tell we are all very familiar and comfortable with each other, and our agencies are also very familiar and comfortable working with each other. So if you are concerned about anything, whether it's civil or administrative or governmental or consumer protection or counseling oriented, or you've been a victim, heaven forbid, don't worry about choosing the right one of us to contact, because we work hand in glove with each other, meaning we will if you contact me and I say, hey, this is an issue for consumer protection, and I'll use my dad as an example. He contacts me quite regularly, and I refer him to Mike Bannon's organization quite regularly, and Mike has a 100% success rate in helping him out with his consumer protection issues. But that is just one live example. I could think of many, many. So never hesitate to contact any of us. But before I give you a little bit of information about the DA's office, I'd like to turn it over to Liam Crowley at Network Victim Assistance, NOVA. Liam, could you tell us who you are, what you do, and what NOVA does to help people in our community in Bucks?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for inviting NOVA here and being a part of this group. It's a great group. Like Matt said, I am Liam Crowley of NOVA, Network of Victim Assistance. And we were founded in 1974, and NOVA provides comprehensive, inclusive, no-cost services for anyone affected by crime in Bucks County. In addition, the agency leads violence prevention, education, and training for schools, professionals throughout the community. I personally am a victim advocate with NOVA. A victim advocate accompanies people who were affected by crime. We accompany them to police interviews, DA interviews and meetings, criminal court accompaniment, assistance writing victim impact statements, and assistance with filing PA victims crime compensation, my specialty. And I am, in particular, I am the elder abuse advocate. So I help individuals, over 60, who have been affected by financial fraud, scams, theft, anything like that against older adults. And I am the person to go to when it comes to filing crime victim compensation. And yeah.
How do we get a hold of you at NOVA if we need to?
So our website is NOVA, N-O-V-A, Bucks.org. We have a 24/7 hotline. That is 1-800-675-6900. And if you do not want to speak, we also have a text hotline, which is 267-323-4545.
Excellent. All right, I'll tell you a little bit about the DA's office, and then I'll turn it over to Mike for some of the scams that we're seeing and some of the tips, perhaps, that you can give us to protect ourselves. I know that this is geared towards older adults, but really, some of the scams that we're going to talk about and some of the tips are pretty universal, especially if you're a caregiver, you want to be paying attention to these. But certainly if you're an older adult, these are all designed to make you aware of not only the services that are out there, but good ways to protect yourself. So I am the district attorney here in Bucks County, and we have some good information that's available to you, either in hard copy if you want to stop by our office, or on the web. Certainly that is how a lot of people contact us nowadays, and that's at bucksda.org. It's just as it sounds, bucksda.org. And if you want to call us on the phone, that's fine too. We are available there from, I think it's from 8:30 till 5 o'clock. But you certainly, if you have an emergency, please call 911 or call your local police agency so that they can start the ball rolling if you've been the victim of a crime. We don't want you to wait to call us during office hours. But our phone number is 215-348-6344, 215-348-6344. And fortunately, we have a very large staff that is prepared to help people that have become victims. We also interface with all of these agencies who help us as adjuncts sometimes or as primaries when we vet something and as it turns out, it may be either beyond a statute of limitations, like out of time, or not quite criminal, or you just need help with a situation. We want to make sure we get you where you need to go. But when a crime has occurred, when you become the victim of a crime, or you even suspect that you're the victim of a crime, please don't wait. There is no shame in contacting your local law enforcement or calling 911. There is no shame. Please err on the side of protecting yourself or protecting your loved one. We want to receive those calls. We expect those calls. We expect those contacts. And we are really here to help and to protect you and, frankly, to prevent further victimization. I think that is so important as well. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Mike Bannon, and I'll leave it to you, Mike. You're a pro here. If you could tell us, give us some of the scams that you're seeing, if they're seasonal or universal, and some good ways for people to protect themselves.
I certainly can, Matt. First, I'd like to say, though, thank you to the other participants that are a part of our Bucks County Crimes Against Elder Task Force. As you said, Matt, it is a unique group of folks that know each other. We can reach out. So if the viewers out there contact any one of these agencies, we'll know where to go with your problem. And this is pretty unique to Bucks County, and we're pretty proud of this situation we have here, and we hope that viewers take advantage of that. Now, I deal with a lot of residents in Bucks County, seniors and non-seniors that have problems with scams that happen all the time. This time of year, what we do see is what we call the traveling contractor, a home improvement contractor that goes up and down, typically up and down 95, the corridor of 95, scamming residents from Florida up to Maine as they move on and keep going, and then they go from there. They're always very nice folks that do this scamming, and typically they would show up at somebody's house unannounced, knocking on a door, saying that they may have some material left from a job at a neighbor's house and they can repair your driveway cheaply, some kind of home repair that you did not solicit. They are soliciting you. That's a red flag in itself when it happens that way. So I urge consumers out there, if you get a random knock on the door, you still need to do your homework. The person might be nice, but you can call the Bucks County Consumer Protection Department and we can give you the rundown on how to find a registered contractor with the Commonwealth to make sure that they have insurance. There's steps that need to be taken before you hire somebody, and we know in the spring and the fall, and certainly during storm season, which we're also going to have, we see a lot of this kind of shenanigans happening. So Matt, your office has been great over the years, kind of getting the ones that we can get, the local contractors that have messed up, unfortunately. Thank you for holding their feet to the fire. It makes all of Bucks County safer by doing that. The other thing that we've seen an increase recently that's affecting seniors, again, and it's an old scam that's coming back again, is the computer repair scam. A lot of residents have reported to us recently that they've either gotten emails or they've gotten phone calls or text messages saying that they are from one of the companies, the big tech companies, and you're having a problem with the computer and they can help you resolve the problem. Typically, we all have problems with our computer, so that works well, that scam, when they say you're having difficulty, your computer's slow. But these scam artists could ask you for your credit card to get on to do this information. They're going to say there's a charge, so they'll ask you for your credit card information. Once they get it, they'll charge all sorts of things on it that you don't know about, is one way they do it. The other thing that they do is they ask you to go to a website so they can log on to your computer under the guise that they're repairing your computer when they're really installing malware, spyware, and other stuff that will do bad things for you. So don't fall for that. That is definitely on the rise in the past couple of weeks. No doubt about it. It's back again. The good news I want to mention, we talked earlier about scam phone calls. I see a movement that I'm very encouraged by the attorney generals in all 50 states who have pulled together to hold the telecommunication companies' feet to the fire when it comes to robocalls. I think that this is really going to be great progress in the future, and I'm optimistic that this move, it's a little different. Before they were trying to regulate it on a federal level, but now the state attorney generals have pulled together all 50 states, and so I'm optimistic that something will happen there. But it's really important for folks to know, when you get a phone call and you don't know who it's from, you should not answer that phone call. When you see it pop up on your ID, if you have caller ID and you don't know who it is, let the answering machine do the work. Pretty much, I only answer the phone when I see people I know. I recognize the phone number to call. So a lot of times they just want to talk to you. You pick up the phone, you talk with them. The scam artists are collecting information to call you back later with that information to try to take advantage of you. So it's really important that residents don't take these scam phone calls.
That's some great information. I want to unpack some of that, Mike. I know you give credit to you. You've mentioned that if you're getting these phone calls, these unsolicited phone calls, there's a way to get yourself off of those lists, and it's No Mo Robo. Is that right?
That's right. There's a great free service right now called No Mo Robo for your landline. It's strictly for your landline. You can pay for your cell phone. It really helps decrease phone calls. It basically, when there's an identified scam number out there, it will disconnect that number when it calls your house. So definitely a good thing to do if you can.
And I'd like to add to some of what Mike is talking about, and these are the 3 don't answers. These are great rules of thumb. And I know sometimes you have an inclination to want to answer the door, answer the phone, click on an email, click on a text. You're better off not doing it. So don't answer your door if it's an unsolicited knock or a ring on the door. If you have a ring camera, then you know exactly, you can see that it's somebody that you're not expecting. Because I will say this, number one, it's high pressure sales tactics at best. And at worst, what we're seeing on the criminal side is somebody will come and engage you at your front door, and then their partner in crime will be at your back door, going into your house and rifling through your stuff and stealing your things. So do not answer that front door if it's an unexpected visitor. Similarly, with your phone, do not answer the phone if you recognize the number. Now, I'll tell you that the scammers have become even more inventive and more creative. They'll do what's called spoofing. They'll actually steal or borrow a phone number that you may recognize or that might look close to familiar or even right on the money. But if you're not expecting a phone call, one of the things that I've started to see is that if it's in all capital letters, if the caller ID is in all capital letters, it's not familiar to my phone, it's not in my contact. I never answer, even frankly, unless it's my wife or my kids, heaven forbid, who rarely call me. I never answer the phone. I let it go to voicemail. If somebody really wants to get you, they'll get you. They'll leave a message. And here's why. If you answer, even if some people say, oh, they like to argue with the people or they like to blow a whistle, that's bad news, because then your name and your number go on a list that you're a live one. They may not have gotten you this time, they might not have scammed you this time, but your name and number then go on a list of a number to continually dial, and you've only just created the beginning of the nightmare for yourself. So don't answer that. Same thing with these calls, or I'm sorry, these emails and texts. People want you to click through an email. We're seeing one right now. It's win a Makita, you've just won a Makita drill. You've just won all kinds of hardware from Ace Hardware. I see the headline, I just put it right into my spam folder. No, you're not winning something unsolicited. Frankly, it's pretty tough to win even when you try. So bear that in mind. Just dump that stuff right into your spam folders. So that's a good one that Mike and I see often.
Matt, if I could just follow up, we've got some great brochures that are free on our website, or we can mail to folks about scams, cons, and frauds that affect senior citizens. We've got a ton of great brochures on a bunch of different issues, but we can mail them to you. You can pick it up on our website on how to avoid these scam phone calls and what you can do on a number of different things. We tried to take real life stuff that's happening in Bucks County and put it into this brochure.
That's great. We're never going to be able to cover everything here, but we want to give you just some of the top of mind things that we're seeing and how to protect yourselves. Kathy, would you like to talk about some of the things you're seeing and how to protect ourselves?
This is something that has also personally I've experienced, and that is, and Mike talked a little bit about it, but to reiterate about texts, a couple of different texts that I get that are searching, again, to find if your phone number is an active one. I've gotten ones that have said, we got your job application, do you want to call me for a follow-up? So your inclination is to say, I'm sorry, you must have the wrong person, or, because you want to help somebody out, but that is just searching for information from you. The other that I recently saw said something about, again, it's just out of the blue kind of, I have the information you wanted for your friend, give me, just send me a text back. That's not something, and talking about seasonal kind of things, where in election year, sometimes you'll get things that are texts that say, we're from this party or that party, are you willing to vote, are you willing to, and it's really frustrating because I know that a lot of legitimate people will do that, but a lot of non-legitimate, illegitimate, will also, scam artists will also use that as a way to garner information from you. So texts are a big thing now, and people are just not quite as aware about it as much as email and some other things. So I just wanted to reiterate, thank you.
That's a good one. And also, Kathy, one of the ways that you and our agency and NOVA have collaborated is through something that it's called Ben's campaign. Sometimes when people get older, they may lose a little bit of their cognitive ability for whatever reason, whether it's dementia or Alzheimer's, and they may have guns in the house, which of course, if you're legally able to possess a gun, you can keep it in your home. But we want to make sure that those guns are kept safely. And so one of the things that we've partnered with Area Agency on Aging and NOVA on, and the sheriffs and our children and youth for other reasons, is Ben's campaign, and we offer free gun locks to anybody. They're very simple to use, so if you have a loved one that maybe is suffering from one of these cognitive disabilities or loss of cognitive functioning, and you still have guns in your house that you want to keep safe, you get a free gun lock from NOVA, Area Agency on Aging, or from the DA's office, or many of your local police agencies have them as well, and they're very, very easy to use. It's a simple lock, loop, and a key, and you've now protected everybody in your home and others. So that was another thing that I wanted to mention. Kathy, do you have anything else that you'd like to mention specifically?
No, I'm so glad you brought that up. I was just talking to my counterpart, who's the Area Agency on Aging Director in Chester County, and 2 weeks ago, they had an incident where, unfortunately, a man with dementia got a hold of his gun and shot a home health aide that was visiting the home and then shot himself. And so we really don't want to see that happen anywhere, and certainly not in Bucks. So thank you so much for bringing that up, Matt. That's great.
You're welcome. All right, let's move over to Brendan and Dakota and Senior Law Center. I know you mentioned earlier helping with protection from abuse orders. I think you also help people with wills, living wills, powers of attorney, those types of things.
Yes, Matt, we do that. I just also would like to take a moment to echo what's been said earlier. We're seeing a lot of the computer scams as well. And I would also point out red flags. Anytime anybody asks you to go to a Target or a Walmart and get a gift card, do not do it. Anytime anyone is asking you to send a wire transfer to a foreign bank, do not do it. We see a lot of this in Bucks as of late. We work closely with the Department of Banking, and we've tried to educate the banks. Of course, you have a bank for your money, and you can do whatever you like with your money, but banks are becoming much more aware now, and often the staff members or the tellers are going to ask you questions like, this is a lot of money to go to X place. Are you sure that you want to do this? Some people get offended by that, but please think before you do it. Romance scams, dating sites, some very well-known dating sites for older folks, it's also a breeding ground for people who are looking to take advantage of you. So as far as powers of attorneys and wills go, we can do that, and we do it for free where there's a situation where the person who needs the power of attorney to be changed or rewritten or drafted has some connection to fraud or abuse or exploitation. Contractor fraud is also something that we'll look into, and sometimes that is something we work closely with the police and the DA's office in reporting, but we also have remedies for that in the civil law. And the law has recently changed so that when we can actually identify the bad actor, the contractor fraud, someone says they're going to do something and they never come back, the law on the civil side has changed, so it's a much greater chance for recovery. So that's also something we can provide you assistance with.
And I'd like to add to that, Brendan. Well, first of all, I have a question. How old do you have to be to qualify for Senior Law Center assistance?
60 or older, and that is the only requirement, that you're a resident of Pennsylvania and you're 60 years of age.
And how about you, Kathy?
Most of our services are for 60 and above to qualify. The only thing that's different is senior games. When we have that, is for 50 and above.
Okay, so I'm pleased to say I have plenty of years left before I could use your services in this regard. I also do want to say, it's sad, and I would say it's still infrequent, not rare, but still infrequent, where generally when somebody is taken advantage of, that is elderly or infirm, it is somebody that they know, that they trust, who ends up taking advantage of them. And we do see this. We get, perhaps it's criminal, perhaps it's not, but there's always an ethical issue involved there. And I know that's how the Senior Law Center can protect you with this new power of attorney or a change in your power of attorney, or Area Agency on Aging or Consumer Protection. Consumer Protection can also help you if you're just buying a new refrigerator or you want to check out a contractor and you're nervous or don't know how to do it yourself. They can help you with that. But one of the things that we see that is, I don't want to say it's universal, but pretty frequent, is after somebody that's elderly is taken advantage of, they always report it after the fact. And sometimes they don't report it. So there's a great saying, trust but verify. And what I mean by that is, if you have one person that's your power of attorney, have another person that's checking on your financial records, that third objective set of eyes. And there is no shame in making sure that the people that you love and trust are not taking advantage of you. If they love and if they love you and you trust them, they will have no issue with you checking and confirming that. So please, please, if you think you're being taken advantage of or being scammed or being stolen from or not being cared for, call 911, call your local police, call one of these fantastic agencies so we can just double check and we can be your extra eyes and ears. With that, I will turn it over to Nova, to Liam. You please tell us how people can take advantage of your services and some of the things that you're seeing.
Again, here at Nova, all our services are completely free. I just want to point that out. And at Nova, our services are, you don't have to be 60 and above. It's for any age group. But me in particular, I deal with elder abuse. And I've seen an uptick in contractor fraud, as Mike said, real estate scams, and romance scams as well. With our services to help elderly abuse in Bucks County is we help them file the PA victim crime compensation claims, and that will help help the individual get some money back from PA. You won't necessarily get all your money back from what you lost, but it does help a little bit. And I will say, with the uptick in contractor fraud, real estate scams, and romance scams, I just want to tell the people out there, always check with a trusted source before making a big decision, and that's one of us. You can always call one of our, hotlines and all that. Carefully read all contracts, especially the fine print. That's a big one. And verify official contracts requesting money or information. That's also a big one. And one of the big don'ts is don't send money by wire transfer or prepaid cash cards. We see a lot of, the prepaid credit cards, sending it to individuals who promise you something in return. Don't do that. Always check with the trusted source, one of our agencies here, before you make this big decision. And, I'd like to end with, when in doubt, check it out.
That's excellent. When in doubt, check it out. So I think, Kathy, go.
Liam, I just wanted to ask, can you talk a little bit about your counseling? Because that's a free service as well, right? Is that still available? And
Yes, so Nova does offer counseling to individuals affected by crime. You don't have to, sometimes with counseling there is certain restrictions in certain agencies where you need to file a police report. Here at Nova, you do not need to file a police report to get counseling. You can, come right in, and we can do it virtually or in-house. We have 3 locations, one in Percy, one in Jamison, and then one in Fairless Hills. So individuals who would like counseling, it is free again. And you call us and we will set up a time what's best works for you, and we'll give you counseling.
we had somebody in that we were helping, and her mother had been a victim of a scam and had gotten to a point where she was afraid to leave her home, and her life just felt totally unsafe, and she sought counseling at Nova, and it was just so helpful. So thanks for being able to provide that. It's hard sometimes to find mental health services like that, so it's great.
I find that all of these agencies that we partner with are great at follow-up. They will not just one and done you, one off. They will make sure that you are protected and remain so. I believe that with our remaining time, and I'm going to ask for some help here from Matt in the booth or Manny, that we're going to try to take some written questions or some live questions. We'll have to feel our way through this a little bit, but let's see if we can do this. Manny, do you have any?
Yeah, we have one question here. Do you have a no soliciting sign available for seniors?
All right, so the question is, do any of our organizations have a no soliciting sign available for seniors? That's a great question. Anyone want to tackle that?
I don't, but we can get one.
So Mike Bannon at Consumer Protection says that he does not have one readily available, but he can get one. So whomever, Manny, if you would respond to that, to have that person contact Consumer Protection, and we'll make arrangements.
If I could also just follow up, one thing I neglected to mention on that is you need, in most municipalities, you need a solicitor's license. So somebody, if they do knock on your door soliciting, you can always ask them for the soliciting license issued by the municipality. So that's just another tip.
Yeah, I just don't answer that door. I duck low or wherever I'm head to the basement, whatever it is. Manny, any other ones?
Another question, this one's for Brendan. Can the Senior Law Center offer a referral for lawyers who specialize in senior wills and trusts?
Can you repeat the question, because Manny's not mic'd?
The question, I believe, was, can the Senior Law Center provide referrals to lawyers who specialize in wills, estates, and trust? We can, but as a nonprofit, we will not refer you to a private attorney per se. What we will do is refer you to the magnificent Bucks County Bar Association, who has a really terrific program called the Lawyer Information and Referral Service. And what they will do there is they will hook you up or provide you with information to have a brief consultation with an attorney who specializes in whatever area of law that you're looking for. And at that time, there's usually a very nominal fee. They don't charge a full consultation fee, and that's often a great starting point. Because of our nonprofit status, we can't refer you directly to other private attorneys, but we can certainly point you in the right direction, and we can also provide you with some starting advice as well.
And to the point, I would advise whoever that question, the person that wrote the question, is contact Senior Law Center first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe they can help you, number one. And number two, let's remember that I would say, and I'm just going to put a number on it, 98% of all the services that you've heard about and many of the services that are offered by all of these agencies, mine included, are free. So start with free and work your way up from there.
You will never be charged for speaking with an attorney or receiving attorney services at Senior Law Center. Never.
That's excellent. Manny, any others? Did you say yes? Or that's it, Manny?
Yeah, that's it for now.
All right, excellent. Now, I'm not sure if we have this capability or not, but are we to try to take live questions, Zoom questions? Oh, okay. How do we do this?
Hello, Zoom people. That row over there, can they ask a question? Are they unmuted? You can ask a question?
Yes.
Does anybody have a question out there that's watching us remotely? All right, I don't see any, so.
Okay.
Someone's raising their hand, but they're on mute.
Could any of the panelists?
I had put in the chat, we had a woman named C. Queen, I don't want to give her whole name, but she got scammed Friday through her credit union. Someone spoofed their phone number, hacked her credit card and ATM card, then called her pretending to be the credit union. She really needs help with reporting this. It just happened Friday, and she was having trouble connecting to this live, so we're going to make sure she gets to view it here. We did play it here, and I offered just a few minutes ago for her to come over right before it started, but she wasn't able to make it. So any help that you can give her would be much appreciated. And I think I forwarded Mike the email about that.
All right, so
You did, and thank you. First, I got to say this is Bonnie Worth speaking, who is the manager of the Bristol Senior Center. Thank you, Bonnie, for participating in this today and pulling this together. You've done a great job with that. And yes, I think you sent that information, and I will be glad to contact her. It's the perfect. Well, I'm sorry for her, but she's at the right spot to get to us, because we'll try to help her navigate through that kind of problem.
Thank you very much, Mike. Much appreciated. And also, thank you also to the Senior Law Center and Nova. I did learn some new information from both, in addition to information we had this morning. So thank you very much for having both of them on, as well as all the county row offices.
Thank you. I would urge your client as well to call us, because this is something we deal with all the time here in Bucks County as well. Start with Mike. He may end up sending you to us. He may be able to solve your problem, but we're always available for that exact kind of thing. And our phone number again is 610-910-0210.
Thank you.
Bonnie, do you have any others where you are?
We have a couple people listening through here, but that's the main thing I wanted to get is for C Queen really was having a big problem. She just emailed us this morning about it. Okay. And because we had sent out a blast email about this, and she just needs help. So thank you again very much.
All right, you're welcome. Manny, I see you have something?
We have another question. This person wants to report a financial advisor in Bucks County that targets seniors with misleading or false advertising. And this financial advisor is also getting their negative online reviews removed.
right, I think first let's start with consumer protection.
We certainly would be happy to take a look at the situation. I'm unaware of it, but yes, we'll take a look at that. We do occasionally get complaints about financial advisors. So yeah, they have them contact us, or the viewer can contact Bucks County Consumer Protection, and we will try to navigate the way through that and figure out the best plan.
All right, hopefully.
Thank you.
Manny, will you type that in there, please?
Contact Consumer Protection, that will be help.
Yeah, and give him some contact information. I did notice there's some, if you scrolled up to the top, did we miss any?
No, that was dealing with audio.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, anybody else? I see a couple people out there in Zoom land. Anybody else have any questions? I don't want to leave any questions unanswered.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I do have my hand up. I don't know if you can see it, and I'm not a techie, so.
Oh, John.
Yes, Mike, how are you?
All right, John Greer. How are you, John?
I am blessed, brother. I got another day. I'm doing well, thank you.
Always good to see you.
All right, I just lowered my hand. First of all, thank you. Let me identify myself. I'm John Greer, Executive Director of the Bucks County Association for Retired and Senior Citizens, representing 4 of the 13 senior centers located in Bucks County. And I want to thank you for this expo that you're putting on today. And I know, Mike, you're connecting with our centers to actually attend the centers themselves. And thank you for that.
Yes.
My question today, actually, if I could direct this to the law firm. I'm a veteran. We just had our VFW meeting yesterday. And a question came up concerning this issue of the Camp Lejeune water issues. I certainly was down in Camp Lejeune in that time frame, and I filled out all the required information, required forms, and thank God I don't have any of the issues that are identified in what they're putting in. But the question came up about there are different emails that are coming that are relating to Camp Lejeune and the water treatment. And I know it's a veterans thing, although even when you look at TV, they're advertising that this is something that isn't necessarily falling under the veterans, that there are law firms that are dealing with this on the side. And the question is, how can you tell what forms are the proper forms and who is trying to scam you for that information? Is there, I know that's a loaded question in some respect, but you know, we have no answers. We tried to answer that yesterday and we have no answers.
Thank you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you very much for that question. And we're certainly aware of that. It's a class action suit in the making or creation. So I would urge anyone who has questions to call us, and we can sort of speak to the individual one-on-one. To provide a general answer would not really be helpful. But we can certainly do some investigation into it for you. And it's a great question, and you should be leery and wary. But yes, it's a very sad situation, and we were happy to provide you the assistance that we can to at least get you started in the right direction. So please call us at 610-910-0210.
Thank you very much, and we'll pass that information on to our VFW members.
Thank you.
So we have time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions if there are any. Bonnie?
Yes, I have a senior with me now that is asking a question, and I don't know if it's the appropriate place. I think it is. He has been raising his grandchild. He's right next to me, and he's been raising his grandchild since his grandchild was 6 months old. His grandchild is now 13 years old, and he wants to continue to stay with his grandfather, who is next to me. Does he have to go through court to keep his grandson with him? He has been told that at age 13, the child can decide himself who he wants to be with. But does that have to go through court?
We have senior law centers going to try to respond, Bonnie.
Thank you very much.
Sure, absolutely. This is a very common situation, and we see a lot of it. We also have a program at Senior Law Center called Grandparents Raising Grandchildren. And we can provide services through that program in Bucks County. All children have to have custody, so there has to be a court-issued custody order. Otherwise, generally, it is the biological parents who have custody. So I can't comment on the specifics of this gentleman's case, but again, if he calls us at 610-910-0210, we absolutely will put him in touch with free services regarding this issue.
Can you repeat that one more time?
610-910-0210.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate it.
You're welcome. Anybody else, Manny? Do you see anybody else with their hand raised? I don't. Oh, Kathy. Kathy has her hand raised. Yes.
I'll put it down now. Okay. That just reminded me when you were talking, and John, that was a great question because about veterans and what's going on, because you do see that all over the TV right now. The other thing that you're going to see on the television right now is that the Medicare enrollment time is coming up, and that's usually from mid-October through December 7th. And again, we have a program called PA Medi, M-E-D-I, that will assist individuals with determining what is a good option for them with regards to any kind of Medicare supplements. We are not, because government, we are not affiliated with any Medicare Advantage program or anything like that. So we're just helping you to look at what the options are out there. But the fact is that you will see Medicare Advantage programs out there who are also maybe possibly trying to scam you. So again, the buyer beware type of thing. But just wanted to raise that awareness because that time is coming up soon.
Great reminder. Liam?
Yes. Is Bonnie still on the video chat? Okay. So Bonnie, I think this pertains to the individual you were talking about earlier who was a victim
I'll
of...
put him in the chair so he can talk to you directly. Here you go, Ram.
Bonnie, I was talking about the individual who was scammed through the financial institution.
Yes.
So what I always recommend, if a person has been scammed through, internet or anything like that.
Hang on a second, Liam. Hey, Bonnie?
Yes.
Liam is referring to a question that we answered earlier about the person.
Okay, hold on. Let me get that. Look. Oh, yes, I realized that. I was just going to leave him sit there. Okay, go ahead.
So what I always recommend to individuals who been through a financial fraud, scam, or theft, the first thing to do is definitely report this to the police. That's definitely the first step. If the individual does not feel comfortable going to the police station by themselves, one person at Nova can also accompany them to the police station, help them with filing a report. But I always recommend filing a police report is the first step. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, so the way I'd like to wrap this up is just to say that Mike Bannon has been our fearless leader and coordinator for these events. I'm very grateful for that, but also not just as a thanks, but as a pitch, that if you know of John or Bonnie, if this is a great way to participate, certainly, but we are willing to take this on our traveling road show. We will come to senior centers. We understand that it may be difficult for seniors to access us online like this, and we will come. Like I said, we've been at Ann's Choice, we've been down at Tullytown. So if anybody has any interest at your church, at whatever your group is, we can make some sort of arrangements. Contact Mike Bannon at Consumer Protection. Our whole goal is to make you aware, to keep you safe.
We just had Mike out along with, he brought the FBI and people from Bristol Township on August 15th, and we had 105 people attend. And it was a phenomenal presentation with wonderful information. I highly encourage anybody to have them come and speak at the center.
And I would like to follow up on that because they also attended our Penn Ridge Senior Center. And again, we had a big crowd up there, and everything is, all the information people can't normally get through these Zoom meetings or have access to it. Coming to the centers is where our people are at. So again, thank you very much. I encourage it to.
All right, excellent. So I'd like to thank all of our presenters, Mike Bannon, Kathy Bennett, Liam Crowley, Brendan Corballis, and Dakota Levy. And of course, I'm District Attorney Matt Weintraub. hopefully you gathered one good piece of information or made one good contact here, and the whole goal is for everybody to just be safe. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. Stay safe.
Thank you very much.
That's good stuff.